What's going on out there, esports world? Welcome once again to BossFightTV's The Reload. This is episode number 47, where we will be covering all the esports news from October 17th through the 23rd. As always, my name is Josh Engel, also known as Anti-Pro.
And I'm Mike Bisson, aka Mohawk Mike, and I'm not trying to boast or anything, but you can see I have my Extra Life Street Team t-shirt on from this past weekend. You guys out there were watching anything on Twitch TV, you know, a couple times on the front page, they got some of those Extra Life streams up there. A very cool event to help raise money for children's hospitals, and not just one disease, but a whole variety. So it was very cool. My local university did one. I'm not saying I participated, but I was there for a little bit. I personally didn't raise any money, but overall, everyone who participated in the Extra Life, the numbers have at least first came out, and there was over $1.5 million donated.
Over $1 million.
$1 million.
Shout out to Tak Fuji.
1 million
troops.
Wow.
Anyways, so we have the one of our largest gaming events ever. Not this specific event, but talking about Dreamhack happened this weekend, where there was some League of Legends, Starcraft 2, and Counter-Strike Go action. And I'm not gonna lie, we didn't talk about what order we were gonna go in this, so I'm gonna start with League of Legends.
Go ahead.
Yeah, League of Legends.
And then do Starcraft, and then I'll do Counter-Strike Go.
All right,
yes, because I have something special to share.
Ooh, something special. All right. So League of Legends, let's take a look at how the teams did there. We'll bring up the results. First place, we have WinFact. Congratulations to those guys. Awesome job all the way around. Second place, we have Team Mistral. And then third place, we have My Revenge. Also a very large part of the Dreamhack series, we have StarCraft 2. First place, we have Nertio. Second place, Bly. And then sharing third/fourth place, we have Mana and Starnan. So this is kind of the event leading into Dreamhack Winter. How did the Counter-Strike Go part go?
Well, I'd like to first and foremost mention that, as we all know, Dreamhack is one of the front runners as far as esports production value. So on the main stage where they had Counter-Strike Global Offensive, I'm not trying to dog on it, but you work with what you've got. So it was kind of like, you know, your basic little bit of a riser with just two desks.
It just looks like a typical almost LAN party.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like an esports event.
They were higher.
They are. They raised the bar a little bit.
Anyway, so they have the stage, right? And then 3 inches below that is the spectator floor, which they had chairs and stuff like that. So literally, where the stage is to where the spectators are, you're literally you could stand up and high five one of the teammates if you wanted to. So that's how cool it was. Right. But before the grand finals took place, we actually have a photo in typical Dreamhack style. As you can see, fireworks on the main stage. Jesus. But I want you to notice, look how close the people in the front row
could touch the fireworks.
Are to the fireworks. So you see the gentleman in the white shirt, you can see him on the stage there. That is actually Hellspawn, who is the main esports director for Dreamhack. So you see, there's a before picture. Guess what he does when he get off the stage?
He jumps through the fire!
He jumps through the fire as if he spawned from hell himself. Get it? Because he's Hellspawn.
I like
it. And he's literally just kind of walking through oh, excuse me.
And that look on his face, though. That look on his face looks like he kind of got hit in the butt as he was jumping off the stage.
Yeah, that was
it was really cool.
Pretty cool.
I liked it.
Things are crazy.
Yo, MLG, take notes. Let's get some fireworks.
I'm gonna bring sparklers next time. That's how
until we get kicked out.
But
anyways,
I digress. This was actually one of the first major tournaments for Counter-Strike Global Offensive. So let's get into results for that. In first place, we have Fnatic, who not only takes the first place prize of $45,000, but has also earned their spot in Dreamhack Winter coming up very soon.
You could be a game show host.
Thank you.
$45,000.
I'd buy that for $1. Second place, not to be outdone, Nexus. And in third place, we have Gamer House, who actually came out from Brazil and had a very good showing. So overall, Dreamhack, always like it. Very, very good focus on the esports.
Can't wait for winter.
Yeah.
Wish I was going.
Maybe they'll just have fireplaces. Instead of fireworks, they'll have fireplaces because it's wintertime and it's colder.
That'd be really cool.
Everybody gets their own personal
Man, I wish we were going to Dreamhack winter. That'd be so awesome.
It's on the bucket list.
Oh, well.
Dreamhack.
If you're out there and you want us to do coverage for you or your company,
we're not starting a Kickstarter.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. We're doing that on our means.
Anyways, onward.
Onward.
What else we got, Mike?
We also got
another big event.
A lot of fighting game news. We actually had 2 Street Fighter 25th anniversaries this weekend. Let's start first with the Los Angeles finals, as the Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition version 2012 finals were crazy. Crazy with an extra Zangief. Did I spell Zangief right? Anyway, Zangief as
I was like, what?
For any of you who weren't watching, it was actually a really big roller coaster ride. As before we even get into the results, I'll explain it a little bit. Justin Wong was playing Zangief, and this was in the regular. This is top 16. Zangief, who obviously plays Zangief, went into play. Justin Wong picked T-Hawk, which everybody went crazy. Nobody plays T-Hawk, even though theoretically it's a good matchup, jabs and whatnot, and frame rates, and all those people out there who don't even understand what I'm saying. Yeah,
trust us.
Count your frame. So anyway, Justin Wong plays T-Hawk and ends up losing the match, goes into losers, and fights his way all the way back to play in the losers finals against Zangief, where he plays add-on and beats him with ease. Guess who he plays in the grand finals? A gentleman by the name of Snake Eyes, who's playing what character?
Snake Eyes.
Zangief. So the craziness ensued. Remind you that Justin Wong came out of losers bracket, was able to reset the bracket and take it into the final, absolute finals. But the thing about it is the matchup was still really weird. So both players playing really cautiously. There were a lot of timeouts. There were a lot of like last second like ditch efforts where they would like 10 seconds left and they go all crazy out on each other. But lo and behold, it went all the way down to the final match in the reset bracket, and Snake Eyes pulls it out into first place, as now you can see the results. So Snake Eyes first place, second place Justin Wong, and third place Zangief. Both Snake Eyes and Justin Wong qualify for the final Street Fighter 25th anniversary tournament to take place in December. So that brings up all the news from that. Moving on to Street Fighter Cross Tekken, which a lot of people were confused about because they thought that the Street Fighter 4 finals were actually Street Fighter Cross Tekken, but it wasn't because there were so many timeouts. Moving on. First place we have Seth LOL. Second place we have Combo Feed. And in third place we have Jibbo with both Combo Fiend and Seth LOL qualifying for the finals, as I mentioned previously. Street Fighter Third Strike, first place we have Mexter. Ugh, I always keep that S in there. It makes me salivate.
Like
Mester. In second place we have Chirithi, and in third place we have Amir, with Mester actually qualifying for the finals to happen in December. And last but not least, Street Fighter 2 Turbo. First place we have John Choi. Second place we have Shoto All Day. And third place we have Alto Combo, with, again, John Choi and Shoto All Day qualifying for the finals to take place in December. But what? One Street Fighter 25th anniversary isn't enough for you? No.
Two.
How about two? But where else? Los Angeles and Japan. Craziness. As we will go into results for that. Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition version 2012. Who else but Daigo the Beast?
I guess that guy's pretty good or something.
So we see Daigo in first place. Second place goes to Fudo. And third place goes to Hurio. And so Daigo and both Fudo qualify for the finals in December. Moving on to Street Fighter Cross Tekken. First place Takedo, second place Yukimura, and third place is MOV. MOV was the only person who didn't qualify there, but wait, turn it back around. Street Fighter Third Strike. First place goes to MOV, who qualifies in that discipline for the finals to take place in December. Second place is Yumizuno, and third place we have Higura. And unfortunately, there were no results, at least posted, or I didn't see any VODs or anything for Turbo, which I don't know. Maybe they just didn't play it.
I don't know.
So, and that moves us out of fighting games. But if you thought I was excited and got a really, really high-pitched voice for that and talked really, really fast for that, wait until Adroits Land, which featured both Quake Live Duel and Team Deathmatch in the Nations format, which is actually one of my favorites. So let's go ahead and move first into the Quake Live Duel competition, which featured a lot of really good players. We actually seen Paul Nelson, also known as Crazy Man, also known as CZM, competed along with Evil, Boxstein, Fury, and Spotty, but unfortunately none of those guys made it to top three. Here are your top three. First place we have Cypher, second place we have Killzin, and third place we have Avic.
So these really good guys played.
A lot of top talent. I'm just trying to say that this is a really good tournament. And for an American to fly over, it was really, really cool to see. And moving on next, as I mentioned, Quake Live 4-on-4 Team Deathmatch Nations. This is in the Nations format. Nations, they, in essence, formed teams together in which they competed for their nation's pride under their flag. In first place, we have Sweden's #1 team, which took first place. Second place, we have the Czech Republic. And in third place, we have Russia. And respectively, you can see all the players that competed on those teams, because I'm not going to take the time to rattle a lot of the names off, because a lot of good players, and you should go back and watch the VODs anyway.
Indeed.
Speaking of which, I don't think I've even mentioned this on the show. Have I talked about Quake history?
I don't know.
There's a new website by the name of Quake History that has actually not only chronicled the history of Quake, but is also now providing a lot of coverage. So if you're at all interested about Quake, first-person shooter, arena style, go on there, because they've got all the good matches. They've got a lot of VODs and stuff like that, and as well a lot of coverage for tournaments coming up. So that was really good as always. I like Quake, but last but not least, Josh, what is in the last place?
Starcraft 2.
What?
Tell me another esports show that put Starcraft 2 in the last spot. Well, technically we talked about Dreamhack. But anyways, I digress. Let's take a look at the two events that we've been following. First one, we have the GSL Finals, which is actually a really big piece of news that's been going on. Life ended up taking out MVP 4-3, so Life is the GSL champion for this season. Be on the lookout for Code S to start again. They've actually moved on into up and down matches, which we'll actually start talking about during the next episode. So we're going to be able to pretty much kind of decipher who's going to actually be in Code S next season. So congratulations to Life. Good stuff all the way around. Let's move on to the EG Masters Cup. We are in week number 6. Let's take a look at how the teams have been doing there. We have Quantic 4-0 over Empire. Fnatic taking out Root 3-2. Team Liquid 4-0 over Evil Geniuses. And Rox KS also 4-0ing Dignitas. This is the 4-0 matchups, man. Slayers 3-1 over Acer, and Complexity 3-2 over Mouse Sports, which actually brings me to the miscellaneous news I'm going to slide in. Slayers actually disbanded completely. There's been a lot of stuff going on out there on the internet, kind of rumors going back and forth. There actually is no really definitive kind of answer. There's a lot of finger pointing, not necessarily internally in the team, but people that are not even involved in the whole situation that have kind of been going back and forth. And then we also have the language barrier as well that we have to get through. So in general, I just want to say be very careful of what you look at. Apparently there was just some issues with being able to get practice times in with some of the rules over there and the different leagues over there as well. And a few Slayers teams or people on the team actually have moved on to League of Legends already. They've already jumped ship. So going back to that Destiny Reddit post, I guess apparently StarCraft 2 may in fact be dead or dying. But hey, who knows? That's Destiny said that, not me.
Maybe this is the first sign of the Mayan calendar.
I don't know.
2012.
Coming to the end.
StarCraft 2 is going to die. We might as well dudes.
Oh, man. So, but speaking about StarCraft 2, MLG actually announced their casting list, which has 2 names that are missing.
Vaguely missing.
No tastosis. Let's take a look. We have we actually have the list here. We have Day 9, Apollo, DJ Wheat, Total Biscuit, Mr. Bitter, Axeltoss, Axlav, Clutch, and Abe DC. Then we also have the League of Legends teams, which were announced as well at the MLG finals. We have Azubu Blaze, Curse, Najin Sword, which is going to be a crowd favorite. I'm going to go ahead and call that right now. Dignitas. We have both CLG EU and NA, and we have Team Dynamic and TSM. And then my last piece of miscellaneous news, which actually involves CLG North America, they actually benched Voyboy for a Korean player by the name of Loco Doco. So there's a lot of, I guess, there's just a big firestorm going on, like why they dropped him and how some of the other people on the team haven't really been performing. But, you know, typical League of Legends, you know, a lot of players just point fingers and it's just like, ooh, I don't know, it's all over the place. So everyone kind of points fingers at everybody. Yeah. But that wraps up my miscellaneous news. What do you got, Mike?
I actually want to transition from your League of Legends news and transition into my own League of Legends news, because as you guys know, I'm a fan of the numbers, and Riot came out and reported that their Season 2 finals were actually the quote-unquote most watched esports event of all time, end quote, with over 1.1 million viewers turning in to watch the finals. Now, here's what's crazy about that. That's not including the Korean or Chinese television viewership, as well as the 8,000 people that jam-packed into that arena live to watch the finals. So again, you never really know 100%, but at the same time, I would imagine that there was a lot of people. I know that when I had turned it on, the viewership, here's a tip, if you have the Twitch TV app on your phone, it'll show you how many viewers there are, and sometimes they block it actually on the stream that you're watching on Twitch. So if you want to know how many viewers are watching, of course, that's not a 100% number. You can at least get an idea by getting the Twitch TV app on your phone and or iPhone, Android, whichever system. That was a little plug there. But anyway, so apparently, quote unquote, the most watched esports event of all time. We will move now into one of the next big announcements that I actually like. As we all know, CSGO has had a hard time, at least with tournaments, as far as spectating and actually presenting the matches themselves. Well, it has been announced via Twitter that Valve will have the CSGO TV client ready to go for ESWC this year, which we all know ESWC is one of the biggest, or at least was one of the biggest, Counter-Strike tournaments of the year. So it's cool to see them pump it out in time for that event. Last but not least, I actually want to talk more about CSGO. The ESL Pro Series Poland has started off. That is featuring both Counter-Strike Global Offensive and Starcraft 2. But in the group stages over the weekend, ESC Icy Box played My Revenge in what was probably one of the craziest matches of just hands-out Counter-Strike I've seen in a long time. This is, of course, using the new unified rules, so they can have 4 grenades, and there's no Molotovs or anything like that. So if you want to see a really good match of Counter-Strike Global Offensive, look up that match. ESL, Pro Series Poland, ESC Icy Box versus My Revenge. But aside from that, that's all I have for this week. Josh, you got anything else?
That's all we got. That's all she wrote. Thank you guys for watching the reload with us once again. Make sure you let us know if you have any suggestions, any comments, anything like that. Hit us up on Twitter at BossFightTV. But as always, my name is Josh Engel, also known as Anti-Pro.
And I'm Mike Bisson, a.k.a. Mohawk Mike. As always, thanking you for supporting esports, whatever capacity you do, as well as thank you for considering.